Welcome back to my channel. So I have a 13-year-old who spends way too much time in front of the screen. He is a PlayStation junkie, and I'm always complaining to him about how much time he's spending on the phone. In front of the screen. But at some stage I realized I'm actually spending a lot of time in front of my screen as well. I always have my phone in my hand, checking emails, scrolling through the gram, whatever it is. And I thought, let me try and set a good example and reduce my own screen time before I start and try and insist on him reducing his screen time. And that is when, I went on a journey to reduce the amount of time that I spend in front of the screen. And the first step was to get an alarm clock. And right now I don't need it because I don't need an alarm clock to wake up. But when I started this journey, that's what I needed to do. And the reason for that is because most of us sleep with our phones next to our beds, because obviously we need it to help us. We need our alarm clocks to help us wake up. And so I decided, okay, let me try and put my phone away in the evening so that I can't reach it in the morning. Because the minute you wake up, the first thing you do, you check your alarm, or you switch off your alarm, or you press snooze, and you're immediately tempted to start scrolling. I don't know about you, but that's what I used to do. So then it became important for me to make sure that I cannot reach my phone in the mornings. And that changed the game. Then the second thing that I did was that I decided that I'm going to have a cut-off time for my phone. So in the evening at 7 o'clock, I put my phone away. And normally I've got a 4-year-old, and she normally goes to bed at about 7. So I need to read to her and get her ready for bed. And it's important for me not to have my phone with me during that time. So 7 o'clock made sense, and it's also immediately after dinner time. So I suggest that if you are looking at reducing your screen time, you consider setting a cutoff time. Whether it's 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, whatever works for you. And obviously, we need to be realistic. You can't do that every day. Sometimes when my husband is traveling, then I need to have my phone with me. I can't put my phone away. So be realistic. Don't beat yourself up if things don't work out the way that they're supposed to. But try and get it done as often as you possibly can. Next step, I muted all my app notifications. So for all my social media apps, I don't get messages saying somebody's just liked your post or whatever. Because I feel like the minute you get a notification, then you're tempted to look at your phone. And honestly speaking, you don't need to know, who's commenting on your page. You don't need to know who's liking your latest post at any given time. So I've also muted all my contacts on WhatsApp, except for my husband, my kids, and my parents, I think. I stand to be corrected. But it's just literally a handful of people. So I've muted my siblings, my friends. They don't know this, but they've been muted. And, it just helps because I don't have to check my phone every time I receive a message. And, if you are afraid that you're going to miss on any important messages, I also suggest that maybe you send, if you are going to mute your WhatsApps, you send a message to all your contacts and say, listen, I'm muting my WhatsApps for these particular reasons, and if you need me urgently, please call me. Because that's what I believe. If you need me urgently, then call me. You're not going to send me a WhatsApp if you need me urgently. So that's worked for me. I'm not constantly staring at my phone throughout the day to see who's texting me. And then the next step is to allocate 2 hours of screen-free time during the day. So for example, you can say, you're not going to have your phone with you when you're having dinner, or when you're driving, you'll put your phone in your boot. Whatever it is, just make sure that you get at least 2 hours where you don't have your phone in your hand. And it doesn't have to be 2 consecutive hours. You can spread it out. So it's 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there. If you can do more screen-free time during the day, great. But just start off with 1 hour a day, and then if you can push it to 2 hours, then you're there. Okay, and then the final step, and this is the final step because I'm still struggling with it, and that is allocating time to spend on social media. Now, I've failed on this one, but I know that it's something that I really, really need to work on. But what I've been trying to do is have a specific time in the day where I actually go on social media. So for me, because I work with my phone and social media, I obviously spend a little bit more time, than the usual person, the normal person. But that's also still not an excuse. So ideally, I should be posting in the mornings, and maybe, halfway through the day, make time to respond to comments or to comment on other people's posts, and that should be enough, because if you have an allocated time to go on social media, that will avoid, the consistent scrolling. You're at an event, you feel bored, then you start scrolling, So, and I believe it's just made us so antisocial, We don't want to communicate with other people because we are here. We are constantly on our phones. So if you can make that time, if you can be that disciplined to have that allocated time, then kudos to you. Those are the 5 ways that I've managed to reduce my screen time. And I hope that that will help you as well. You'll be able to take away 1 or 2 points. But just to end off, I think we really, really need to just really think about the way that we live our lives, and we're just not present anymore. Especially for me as a mom, it's so important for me to spend good quality time with my kids without me scrolling through the phone all the time. And it's important for me to have a conversation with my husband and look at him in the eye while I'm talking to him, instead of staring down at my phone. So it's really been an important task for me to try and reduce my screen time. It's a continuous journey. You can't get it perfectly right all the time, and you can't beat yourself up about it, but just keep trying, and eventually you'll get to a space where you feel comfortable. You feel like you're not spending way too much time staring at your phone instead of being present for the people